Hey y'all, how come I don't see nobody coming in? Hold up. Okay, there y'all go. Oops, almost cut it off. Hey Ingrid. Hey Paulette. Hey Mrs. Mac. How you doing? Look, I just thought Miss Mary Mac Mac Mac, all dressed in black black black. Y'all remember that song? Hey Earth Angel, how you guys doing? Come on in. Hey Vicky. Hey Melinda. Hey Karen. Hey Joyce. Hey Vanessa. Hey Dr. M Live. Hey Sharon. Hey D, what's up? So, okay, D, this is your first night on Periscope. Welcome, welcome. Hey Kimmy. Hey, hi from Philly. I was born in Pennsylvania, so that's not far. Hello, you guys. I hope you are here for the second part of how to show your husband you love him. 10 ways to love your husband. This is 2 out of 10. We did 10 last week. 10 ways to love your husband. I'm excited too. Hey. All right. So what you see here is my book. So let me do the whole who I am, because sometimes there's people who don't know who they're watching. They just joined in. So I am Dr. Melinda Harper. I'm the author of A Prophet to Her Husband. And I wrote this book because many times I hear women say, I want to have a husband, I want to be married, but I've never heard a woman say, I want to be a wife. So this is what this book is about. And one of my favorite quotes of this book is on the back, which says, being a wife is being able to see the worst in the person you love the most and still being able to love and respect him. So if you are not a quick forgiver, if you are not a person who, I know I got these glasses on. If you're not a quick forgiver, if you're not a person who can look past some faults, then you're not ready to be a wife. So being a wife is being able to see the worst in that person and still being able to show him that you love him and being able to respect him. So here we go. So tonight's scope, let me get all set up. And look, I couldn't find my other glasses, so I had to make it do what it do. These red Jesse Raphael glasses. Okay, so last week we did 10 ways to show our husbands that we love them. So I have 10 more. Are you ready? I'm going to jump right on in because I have another scope that I want to do, and it's about children. So I'm going to jump right on this in this one. And if you're ready, just push 1. And I'll do the first one. Let me know. Number one. And I think last week some people were like writing down what I said. So if you feel like you want to do that, do that. So number 1, try not to make sudden major changes without discussion. Give him time to adjust. So what I'm saying is you just don't make huge decisions. This is where this I'm an independent woman comes in. See, because if you're an independent woman, that's not going to work with being submissive. We talked about being submissive, and being submissive is nothing more than coming under the vision of another person, right? Coming under the vision. So I'm submissive to my husband. I come under the vision of my husband, and we develop our vision for our household together. So I don't have a problem being submissive to the man that I married. But that's not tonight's scope. Tonight's scope is, here's number 1. Try not to make sudden major changes. Sometimes you can't help but to make a major change if it's going to be something that's detrimental. So you have to make a decision like right now. Yes, but if you don't have to make a decision right now, then I always say, I got to talk to my husband about that. And that's what he says too. He calls me the boss. He calls me the boss, and I call him the boss. So he'll tell someone in a second, I got to talk to the boss about that. And I'll tell anybody, I got to talk to my husband about that. Because whatever decision we do make, that's going to affect our whole household. I'm not in this by myself. I'm not an independent woman. I'm a self-sufficient woman, but I'm not independent. Independent means alone, by yourself. I'm not independent. I have children. I don't live independently in this house alone. So every decision that I make, every decision that he makes affects all 4 of us. Look at my nails, y'all. I got distracted real quick. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I don't usually wear nail polish, and this isn't nail polish. I stuck some stuff on my nails. It's that sticky stuff. But anyway, I digress. So, don't make sudden changes without discussion. Give him time to adjust and time to have some input. Number two. Now, a lot of times, we ladies, we complain, you don't take us anywhere. You don't take me out, and you don't spend enough time with me. Well, let me just say this. When you do go out on a date, don't bring up problems. That's not the time to start a discussion about things that are ailing you. That's not the time, because then he's not going to take you out again. When you go out, just have fun. Don't bring up problems on a date. It's a date. Okay? When you want to bring up a problem, set a time for that. I'm all about scheduling, because me and my husband used to argue all the time. I don't even have to see you to say this. I don't even have to see you. Me and my husband used to argue all the time. And our arguments would last for days and days. Like, I'd go to sleep and wake up talking about, oh yeah, and another thing. Or how about I didn't go to sleep? How about we argue till 2, 3, 4 in the morning and then have to go to work, and then you're sleepy and I'm calling him on the way to work, still fussing, still arguing. That's just some crazy stuff. So if he did take me out, then I want to argue there too, because I'm sitting there like this. So he done took you out, and now you still want to be all mad. No, enjoy the time out. Enjoy the time out. So if he takes you out, enjoy the time. Don't bring up problems on a date. Don't bring up problems on a date. There is a time to have discussions. So I'm all about scheduling now. So we might, if there's a discussion that we have to have, we'll set a time, say, hey, I want to talk to you if you can find time. Saturday, I want to talk about what came up earlier this week. And then you can come together and reason. Because when you're mad and he's mad, he's not going to hear you. You're not going to hear him. All you want to be is heard. And then that's how arguments, that's where all of that happens. So sit down and have a good discussion. But when you're on a date, you're not discussing problems. You're having fun. Number three. I keep doing that because I like my nails. I need to quit. Okay, number 3. This is a good one. This is a real good one. Focus on what he's doing right instead of focusing so often on the negatives. Now, see, sometimes our husbands really get on our nerves. Wives, you don't even have to say nothing. I was going to say put up number 2 if your husband got on your nerves anytime you've been married. But number 3, focus on what he's doing right instead of focusing on the negative. Tell him the good things he does, because we're all human. There's some things that you do that he doesn't like. But men are not like that. They don't just go around talking about, and I don't like the way you such and such, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. But we are real quick to say what we don't like. And I'm not saying don't voice your dislikes. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, weigh it out. And I have this in my book. Weigh it out. If you are giving way more negatives than you are positives, see, those positives are deposits. You are depositing love. You're depositing affirmations. And if you're not depositing anything, then how dare you withdraw? Because every negative thing that you say is a withdrawal. And pretty soon you're going to deplete that man with all that negativity. Everything he doesn't do. You don't never, and we won't say that either. It's never and always. You don't never take me anywhere. You always late. Okay? Get never and always, because he's going to say never. I never take you anywhere. I know he's taking you somewhere. I'm always late. So balance it out. I think we should be focusing on the more good than negative. All right? Number four. And we talked about this last week as far as taking interest in his hobbies. But I'm going to add, take an interest in the things that he feels important in life, period. So not just a hobby this week. Last week we talked about his hobbies, interest in his hobbies. And I shared with you that my husband likes hunting. and I don't like to hunt, but I still support his hunting. But take an interest in the things that he feels are important in life, period. Like my husband, politics is important to him. So I try to keep up on the politics. See, that's not a hobby. That's what he feels is important. He wants to stay up on everything that's happening. So when he comes to me and he wants to converse about the runners and did you hear the speech and did you hear what Obama said and did you hear what Trump said, I'm like, yeah, I want to be able to engage in conversation with him about that because I know he feels that politics is important. If sports is important to him, sports may be important to him. His favorite team, that's one of the things that he likes and he cherishes. Then find out how many wins they have. You don't have to watch it. Just get your stats together, girl. Get your stats together. Like I don't watch football either. But I know who's winning. I know who's going to the Super Bowl. And so when he says, man, Manning got traded and got to look up who Manning. Who's Manning? Oh, Manning plays for, okay. Trade and offer. Yeah. So I want to be able to have conversation with him. You know what? We did that kind of stuff when we were single. We took interest in the person because we wanted to be able to catch him. We took interest in their life and their hobbies. So we studied up on some stuff so we can have a conversation with them. If you know he likes golf, study up on golf, right? Not just his hobbies, but the interest that he has in life. So we're on number 5. Hey, Uncle Blakes, how you doing? Call you Uncle. Number 5. Give him, this is good. I say all of them are good, but this is good too. Give him special time with you apart from the children. So if you have children, that is no excuse of, I got to do this with the kids. I got to do that with the kids. No, you spend time with that man. You spend time with him. Give him special time with you apart from the children. So now let me just take a pause. What does that look like? Because you're like, I have little ones. I don't trust everybody with my kids. Well, let me tell you what we did. Because I don't trust everyone with my children either. But now my daughter's 15 and my son is 9. So we don't have this to worry about too much. But when they were smaller, I interviewed a babysitter. I didn't want my children going everywhere and anywhere. So you may have to put some time in to find the right sitter that can come to your house and sit while you and your husband take 2 hours and go to dinner. It doesn't have to be a long time, but he does need some special time with you set apart from the kids. Ask his mom. Ask your mom if you have sisters and brothers, and just tell them. Now, if you share with people and you're transparent with them and you say, you know what? I just need 2 hours the third Saturday because I want to spend some time with my husband. We haven't had much time together. Can you keep the kids for 2 hours? Because I want to have some time with my husband. I'll keep them for you. Yeah, if you put it like that, yes. Any married couple who cherishes marriage and honors marriage, they would understand that. So if you have little ones, I do understand it's harder to get away, but you have to. You have to get away. You cannot use the children as an excuse because and I know you've heard this before. What's going to happen is they're going to grow up. They're going to go out into the world, have their own families, and then you're with your husband and you don't even know how to talk to each other because everything evolved around the children. All your conversations shouldn't be about the kids. When we put our kids to bed, okay, that's okay. I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on. So give him special time with you apart from the children. Make that time for you guys. Number six. When your husband comes home from work, let the first few minutes, you guys decide how many minutes that is. For us, it's about 15. Make those first few minutes a time where he can debrief. So when he first walks through the door, don't bombard him with anything. When he first walks through the door, don't bombard him with anything, okay? Try to make coming home a positive experience. Then that way he's not staying late at work. He's not taking long to get home. You're like, well, where are you? You only work 15 minutes from the house. He should want to come home. My husband wants to rush home now. Like, we both like being here. Yes, and greet him with a kiss. Greet him with a kiss. And then let him go on about his business. Let him debrief. He may want to take a shower. He may want to listen to some music. He just may want to sit back and do nothing. And don't let the kids bother him either. Okay? So the first few minutes after a spouse comes home, that often sets the stage for the rest of the evening. So if when he comes in, you're like, hey, I had a call from the school and they said, you know what? Too much. Don't do it. Save it. And you know what? Remember when I talked about scheduling time to have those talks? If it's not going to matter today, like it's not on fire, it's not broken, it's not bleeding, it's still breathing, then wait. It don't even have to be done today. Me and my husband sit down and we talk about the problems of the week, because I don't want to hear, this is me now, I don't want to hear a different problem every single day. For me, you can give me 5. Let's talk about these 5 things and then how we're going to address it. We're sitting down, we got our game plan, boom, I'm off. I don't want to hear something new every single day. So we have a meeting time that we talk about the things that need to be talked about. So when he first comes home, give him some debriefing time. All right. Number 7, and we're rolling through these, y'all. And Periscope didn't cut me off yet. Number 7. Number seven. No, I think we're on number 8. Are we on number 8? Are we on number 8 or number 7? Number 7. Okay. Number 8. Okay. Don't allow family members. Thank you. Don't allow family members to treat him disrespectfully. Don't allow family members to treat him disrespectfully. That includes your mama. That includes your brother. That includes your sister. Because here's what happens. When your husband gets on your nerves, you go tell them. Then you guys are good again and you're all back in love, and then they don't like him anymore. They can't get past that. We talked about that, D. We talked about that last week, about not even jokingly. You're not even going to say my husband got a big head. You're not going to say my husband's feet are too big and they look like a clown. No, you're not. Not mine, you won't. But don't allow family members to treat him disrespectfully. And let me go back to when you're upset with your husband. Don't tell your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, because that's where it ends. All they've heard is that you were upset with him. They weren't there for the process, the making up process. They weren't there for the getting back together and reconnecting part. So now you're all in love again. And then it is Thanksgiving time. This is like 3 months later. It's Thanksgiving time. And y'all go over your mom's house for Thanksgiving. And she's looking upside his head like, I can't believe you still with him. I can't believe you with him after what you told me. Well, mama, it's okay. See, that's why you shouldn't put your husband in that situation, and he shouldn't put you in that situation either. So you never talk down about your husband to anybody. If you have an issue with your husband and you want to get counsel, you get wise counsel. But to just be griping and moaning and complaining about your husband, no, you don't do that. You don't ever do that. And if you don't have anyone to talk to, then you talk up about your husband. You talk to God. You put up them satellite prayers and he will fix it. But you don't talk down about your husband to anybody. Girl, no, never. You're going to never hear me say nothing bad about mine. No, you won't. And he can get on my nerves, but you won't hear me say nothing bad about him. Okay. Number 9, compliment him often. He looks good. He smells good. He feels good. He's a good father. He's a good husband. He's a good son. Compliment him. Compliment him on the way he dresses. Because when he goes outside of those doors, I think we hit on it a little bit last week. But all of these kind of overlap. I'm going to give you 100 total one of these days. I'm going to give you 100 total, but this is the second of the 10. When he goes out those doors, they spend time with other people at work longer than they spend with us during the week. If you count up all the hours that your husband spends outside at work compared to the hours at home, he spends more hours away. So he should hear those compliments in his head. He should hear your voice in his head telling him he smells good. He looks nice. He's so handsome. And text him. Text him those things. In the middle of the day, I'll text my husband and say, boy, you sure is fine. And then he'll send me back some kind of emoji and some nasty compliment. He got a mouth. He got a mouth. Girl, I can't wait to get you tonight. Yeah, so you leave yourself on his mind at all times. So when Susie comes around and she's like, oh, you smell nice. What's that you got on? My wife bought me this. And then he'll think about you. Or I like that shirt. My wife bought me this. And then he'll think about you. Right? Right. Okay. So number 10. Drum roll. That's not a drum roll. That's something else. But here. Drum roll. Number 10. Be creative when you express your love in both words and actions. So it's not enough that you say it. There's some things you need to do too. So that brings me to this tonight. Let me show you. I'm going to say it again. Be creative when you express your love in both words and in actions. So of course you're telling him that you love him. Be creative in that. Leave some notes. If you make his lunch, or even if he makes his own lunch, leave him some notes in his lunch. Send him some pictures on his phone. Now I'm talking to married folks, right? I'm talking to wives who have husbands. Send him a picture of some skin. I said of some skin. A leg. Something that he can imagine. Because men are visual. He will visualize that and be ready when you get home. Be creative. Be creative. Leave him a note. Text him. And what about your actions? Okay, so here we go. We went to a conference this morning. So I saw my husband at 9. From 9 to 10, we were at the conference together. And you saw how I was looking earlier. I was looking a little busted. Maybe a little busted. So from 9 to 10, then we had to divide and conquer because the kids had stuff that they had to do. So he took my son and daughter and my son's friend to a basketball game. Then after that, I didn't see him. My daughter was here when I got home. He was gone to a family reunion meeting with my son because I had to take my daughter to Bridges. So I get home around 7 o'clock this evening. He's not here yet. So I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go ahead and put my hair to the side and put on some, what's this stuff called? Mascara. I put on some mascara, brush my eyebrows, and put on just a little bit of lip gloss. And then as I was scoping, talking about this is what I was doing, he walked in. So I had to undo. I was like, bye, y'all. He's here. So yeah. So be creative in both your words and your actions. So when he saw me after however many hours, let's say 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 hours. After 9 hours, he hadn't seen me all day. This is what he came home to. No. And yes, that's how it was when he pulled up. When he came in the door. I was like, bye, y'all. Hey, baby. Yeah. And then, gave him his kiss and I was creative. And then I said, baby, I got to do a scope at 8 o'clock. He said, well, you got a few more minutes. Y'all didn't catch that. Baby, I got to do a scope at 8 o'clock. He said, but we got a few more minutes. There we go. You got it now, right? Had to take care of my ministry. All right. I'm back. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the scope. This is just 2 out of 10. And I think that I'm going to do 100 ways. Boom, right. I'm going to do 100 ways to show your husband you love him. But we did 10 last week. We did 10 this week. We'll do 10 more next week. So I hope you guys are writing this down. If you're not, you can go ahead and get it on Catch Me. Or, send me an email and I'll send it to you. I'll send last week's and this week's, and every week you'll get 10 more. So when we're finished, you will have 100 ways to show your husband that you love him. Now, that ain't no excuse. All right? See you later. Peace.